welcome to part 2 of my Configurations tray by Tim Holtz. I'm altering this tray, and as you can see, I already have this really awesome base laid down with some Tim Holtz tissue tape and some Studio Calico pattern papers in the back. To see the first video where I go through getting this all prepped and ready to go, you can click on the screen right now or see the video description for a link to part 1 of this video. Today I'm going to start decorating it, and I'm going to do this by working in sections, and I'm going to start with my Spain section, which is going to be the biggest. I think it's going to take up this whole kind of 3 wide by 3 tall area. And I'm just going to start with each cubby kind of being, or multiple cubbies being for each place I visited. So I think these 3 will be for Barcelona. This one too. These 4 will be for Barcelona or something like that. I don't know. I'll work it out. But I have Barcelona, San Sebastian, Bilbao, and Figueres. So I need to fit those in this part, and then this will flow into the rest, where this part right here will be Paris and France, and then kind of move everything else around and see how it goes. I have these Tim Holtz grunge board letters that I've already gone through and created, and I don't think I'll put them on until next week or when I'm done with this section, but I just spelled out Europe, and I'll show you how they come in the package. These come in a package like this. They're called Grunge Blocks by Tim Holtz. There's 115 letters and 84 blocks, and you just pick letters and then you pick a block to match it and then ink them to match your project. So I inked this in a whole bunch of distress inks in browns and then glued them together with some matte multi-medium, the same stuff that I've used to seal in this tape onto my base. So that's how I did those, and I think I'll add those at the end of the section this time, because I think I want them to go across right here and still on the front, like, top part of it. But first I need to build into the areas so that I can, when I put these on, I'm not having to work behind and tuck these things behind it. So I'm just going to go through and kind of place memorabilia where I think it'll fit. I have a whole bunch of stuff picked out, some of my favorite stuff, but some stuff that probably wouldn't make it onto its own layout. Like, I have an FC Barcelona ticket, which I definitely want to save on a scrapbook layout. So these are more like museum tickets and a business card from my favorite little bakery in Spain, and a Monopoly piece, and things like that. Just fun little things. So I'm just going to start placing things around, and we'll see how it goes from there. Alright, so this looks a little frantic, but trust me, I have some reason to my madness here. I have pretty much 2 or 3 things sorted out for each cubby, and except for this one where I have about 5 things in this cubby, just 1 for the Figueres category. I might add a photo in that I took there, or might add some miniature photos, but I won't add those until the end. So right now I'm just going to start cutting things apart, and this is probably the scariest part, just to start cutting things, but it'll be worth it when you have things more narrowed down. So I'm just going to cut things into square, or in the case of this sticker, into a circle, so I can have a little bit more of an idea of where this is going. So I'm going to cut out a piece of the map as well, and I might actually die cut that just to make it easier. And then I'll be back when I have this a little bit more succinct and ready to put things together. So now you see I have my tray more put together, and I've been using basically 2 Spellbinders circles from the large and the small circle set to cut things out, and this has helped create kind of more movement and help me just crop things down so that I can have them appearing from, you know, like this one will be right here on the side, and this one could be up here in the corner, and that'll help me be able to work in more things into my final boxes. It will also help so that I can create lots of dimension and layers by actually attaching them to the sides here. In order to do that, I'm going to need something to attach them with. So I'm going to need to make these thicker, and what I'm going to do is actually cut the same circles out of some craft cardstock, and I'm going to layer them twice, just make them as thick as chipboard, and then I'll have the extra little kind of flap left over from where I cut the circle off to kind of create a little shelf for it so that it will stick out of the edge, creating a lot of layer and dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all set up, and then I'll show you exactly how I go about adhering everything down. Now that I have everything cut out, you can see that I have 2 layers of craft cardstock behind this. The second layer the first layer I just trimmed to be the same as my memorabilia, and the second layer I left these little tabs on, so now I'll be able to score them and fold them down and then kind of nestle this into the corner. So I'm going to show you how I'll do this. I'm going to use my scoreboard here. I really like my score pal. And then just line up this with one of the lines. It's not really a measurement thing, it's more just like the edge of your memorabilia. And just score it down like this. And then it should fold really nicely. Just straight down like that, which is really great. There we go. So we have this piece done now. And I'll do this one too because I'm pretty sure I want to put it down first in this little box. I'm probably going to trim some of this off too because my box isn't that big that I'm going into here. Now I'm ready. I have this cut to size, and so I just want this little lip, will lift it a little bit off the background and let more of the background show. And I'm going to use some score tape, this is manufactured by, or sold by Crafter's Companion, I believe, and Score Pal. And I'm just going to use it right here. It tears right off, so you don't have to mess with any scissors or anything like that. But it's super strong adhesive. This is a great alternative to liquid adhesive. I really love my glossy accents and matte multimedium, but it's just not practical when you'd have to hold everything down until it dries. So I'm going to go ahead, remove the protective backing here, and then I can go ahead and stick this right in this corner here. Just to give it some extra stability too, since this is the back piece, I'm going to put 3 layers of foam adhesive behind here and kind of just lift up this corner, because since it's not stable on all 3 pieces, I would have had to been too precise to get it in there. So just going to use this foam adhesive to help me stabilize this part and really make it stick. And then this, I'll be able to just set in this corner right here by adding some more tape. And I'm gonna put down this long piece first so that I can kind of get it into place, and then take off the backer from the other side. So you can kind of press it in really well and know that that is secure, and then you only have to kind of guess on the little side. And this one I can even use my bone folder to kind of get in there and really make sure that it's pressed down. So you can see you have multiple layers. Here, I'll lift it up a little bit higher. You have multiple layers to this box. And none of the information is really super essential. They're just little mementos. So I don't have to worry about covering certain things up or anything like that. And next, I'm just going to go around and keep working with this. I'm going to keep this little button for adhering to the front, so I'll leave that for last. And then I also have some money that in order to adhere it, I'm going to have to let it dry overnight with some, foam adhesive behind it, or just a little like placeholder. So I'll put that in last, and then it'll be looking finished at least. So I'm just going to go through and add these layers in, just keep working around in each little cubby and arrange things as I see fit. I have everything glued in here, and you can see all of the wonderful dimension. I actually ended up just putting pop dots behind the money, so hopefully that'll keep it in there. Otherwise, I guess I'll see how it holds up over the next week, and I can always add in some more adhesive to make it extra strong if I need to. And the cork, I just put down with some glue dots and then secured it with some extra matte medium around it. And it looks, you can kind of see it still down here, but it'll dry perfectly clear, which is really great. And yeah, I just basically went through and added things at different layers, used lots of foam adhesive and kind of hid it underneath the pieces so you can't really see it when you're looking from the side. So yeah, I think we're 1/3 about way through the decorating, but this was the biggest part because this is Barcelona, so next will be smaller sections of different countries. Well, this was Spain, so yeah, smaller sections of different countries. And I definitely want to put my letters, my type letters, over here, I think. And I'm going to need to leave some room for it. Because it kind of amazed me how much I really didn't need that much for each one. Like, this one is literally just a piece of plastic, and I put some Xyron adhesive on the back of it and then just stuck it in there. Most of these only have 2 or 3 things in them. So yeah, like this one has just a little bit of dictionary, and then part of my ticket to the aquarium in San Sebastian. Oh, and then I wanted to add this right here on it too, so I think I'll add that in with some glue dots. So now I have that cute little turtle there. That's cool. And yeah, I'll just keep working on this next week, or maybe the 2 weeks from now. I might take a break and do something with distress markers or something like that next week. We'll see. But the next episode of this, I'll finish the rest of this off, and we'll leave space for my Europe characters. And yeah, I think I like where it is right now, and I like where it's going. I hope you enjoyed it too, and are getting started on your own type boxes or configurations. I'd love to see them if you've started them. And start jumping in and decorating it. I know it's a little scary to go ahead and cut things up, but I found that using my circle dies really helped me because I didn't feel like I was just taking scissors to them. This had like some thought, so I cut out my favorite part of the map and the part I spent the most time in the metro. And that made it feel a little bit more succinct and like I had a rhyme or a reason for everything. So yeah, the circle dies definitely helped. Plus, it brings in another element of roundness, because otherwise this might get very, you know, straight and too boxy. So thank you so much for watching this week. I'll have pictures at the end of this video, more close-ups, and over on my blog at brittaswiderski.com. And once again, you can see the supply list over there as well for all of the stuff that I used for the base of this tray. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you again next time on another video tutorial.